Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2014 North American Challenger Series. I'm David Freak Turley, and joining me at this lovely desk is the even lovelier Sam Kensler.
Thank you, Freak. You always pick me up when I'm having a bad day.
I carry
you.
sometimes.
I needed that.
Yeah, got you on my back. Don't worry, we're good. Coming up in tonight's broadcast, we do have our last quarterfinal match of the first Spring Series. In the blue corner, it's the Spring Promotion Tournament participants Cognitive Gaming.
And in the red corner, it's VVV Gaming White. The winner of tonight's best-of-3 quarterfinal will advance to the semifinals, where they'll play last night's quarterfinal winner, Determined Gaming.
And because I've always been a bracketologist at heart, let's take a look at the North American Challenger Series bracket. In the top half, our first semifinal features the 8th-seeded Skyline, fresh off their upset win over Cloud9 Tempest, taking on the Chinese powerhouse LMQ and their minion-crushing mid laner, Xiao Xiao.
And in the bottom half of the bracket, it's last night's winner, Determined Gaming, sitting in their semifinal slot, awaiting either Cognitive Gaming or VVV White.
And of course, if you want more information on the Challenger Series, or just don't believe me and want to double-check my work, head over to lolesports.com.
You can find the North American Challenger Series under the Leagues and Tournaments tab near the top of the page.
Yeah, do that. It's a good place to go. It's shiny. It's awesome. Go for it. And now let's check. And now let's actually get to it and find out who will be facing Determined Gaming in next week's semifinals. It's time for Game 1 of tonight's best-of-3 quarterfinal showdown: Cognitive Gaming versus VVV Gaming White. And for COG, today is the start of their quest for another trip to the promotion tournaments.
So Cognitive Gaming did participate in the Spring Promotion Tournament, where Curse actually first picked them, which sort of signifies that they consider them to be the weakest of the 3 challenger teams. Then Cognitive did get some revenge, though. In the first game, they took down Curse. Curse then came back, swept them 3 more times in pretty convincing fashion, though.
Yeah, so 1-3 loss for these guys. But if COG wants to put the past behind them and win their way into the Summer Promo Tournament, they will need their mid laner Zamfira to step up a bit.
Yeah, Zamfira is a guy that I really like watching just because he's known for some unconventional mid lane picks that AP Lulu included. Things like Malzahar come around.
Yeah,
exciting to watch.
He's pretty awesome. Yeah.
In their promotion games, though, what was it? Versus... I think it was Curse. Yeah, they played the conventional champions, Ziggs and stuff. So we'll have to see if he actually comes out with stuff like that AP Kog'Maw this time around. Can't wait to see what we got.
Yeah, I got that at least in Game 4, and we'll see what else he can bring up. Of course, lining up across the rift from Zamfira in COG Gaming is VVV Gaming White, a team that actually has COG's old top laner, Chris, here in their top lane.
I mean, Chris has bounced around a lot. I mean, their top laner, he used to play for Velocity in the LCS, and then he did play for their opponents tonight, Cognitive. Now he's on the other side. So after that summer split, he had a pretty good run with Cognitive, but then jumped ship. And now he's doing really well with this new team, VVV White, and it seems to be working out for him and the team as a whole.
Yeah, we'll watch how they perform, of course. Now, even though they have won their first 2 Challenger Series, VVV White hasn't been easy for him so far.
Both of those wins were really close, and they both took a really long time as well. Their first game against Crossover Esports was a very close contest. It took 59 minutes to finish that one, and the match ended 18-18, so dead tied right there. In their second challenger game, it was Triple V White. They took an hour to take down the Girlfriends Nexus. That was the name of the team. And so we're going to have to see if their new mid laner, Microlacious, can help out the team to end a game in less than an hour this time. He's going to be starting in place of the bench Tails, who used to be like their AD carry.
Yeah, Tails was the AD carry a while back when... So I actually like VVV because they have awesome names. They had Get Snuggled, Cheese Beluga, and Porpoise Pops. Unfortunately, Get Snuggled is still here. But yeah, their AD carry was Tails. Tails went to the mid lane. In their 2 games, Tails had a 16.5 KDA. So he was like carrying the crap out of the mid lane games, but he's sitting down for now. As you said, Microlacious, now the mid laner here. And that's always interesting to me when you have like a highly performing member step down, and you've got to kind of jump in for that. Because they had close games already. They needed him.
Like, wow, you're great AD carry, go mid. Oh, you're not that great mid, now you're benched. That doesn't seem like a fair deal.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, though. We are on 2 picks and bans, though. Gragas, the ban at least coming through. And, of course, when you look over at the Cognitive lineup, Captain Ziploc gave himself a promotion. He's now Admiral Ziploc.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's getting better.
Change there.
He's getting better. And because Chris left Cognitive Gaming, Richie Rich, now the top laner.
That guy, he bounced around pretty high ELO in Challenger. Big Renekton player, as a lot of top laners are.
Yeah. I like the bans, by the way. So Zamfira plays everything under the sun mid lane, so he bans like the top 3 conventional mid laners and says, that doesn't even hurt my champion pool.
1, 2, 3, 4 mid laners banned, and then the OP jungler Elise and OP top laner Dr. Mundo.
Well, here we go. Riven first picked. You've seen her go a lot of places. I've seen top, I've seen jungle, I've seen mid.
I've seen Ziploc actually play that champion. Pretty sure that's definitely in Richie Rich's champion pool as well. But like we said, Zamfira, definitely more AP oriented. Yeah. So I'd lean towards more top and jungle with this Riven, I think.
Yeah, he did play mid Sivir in, I think it was game 2 against Curse. But you're right. Otherwise, it's like AP COG, AP Lulu, a bunch of sort of match damage guys. I haven't really seen it much on guys like Zed. So we'll see what goes on with this one. As you're calling it, more likely to the jungle. Vi, we look to hear from VVV Gaming White. And really, I like this because Riven was a big champion for Chris as well. It's still his most played in solo queue. Still very popular for him. So definitely an option.
Even after all the changes, a lot of people still playing the champion. Very, very popular. But with 3 mid lane bans here, I'm surprised VV White are not taking the opportunity to grab one this early.
Yeah.
I guess they're waiting to see where this Riven will go. And the Lulu being locked in kind of tips you off because that's Zamfira's favorite mid lane champion.
Good chance that is AP Lulu. I just like seeing that.
Whenever you have like a mid lane player that's known for that, though, it opens you up to that bait, and you're like, could be a support. What do you think is going to go on here?
Well, the interesting thing is, like, no supports got banned. So, like, you know, the big common 3, right? Leona, Thresh, Annie. Of course, VVV choosing yes, Thresh is our favorite support here, but you could play Lulu against it. She's like right below that sort of top 3 tier, so it'll be a fun thing to watch for. Caitlyn picked up as well, so always a great AD carry. Long range, works in almost every lane. VVV White's turn to make their own choices. I personally don't like Jinx into Caitlyn because you have a huge range disparity, but we've seen Jinx lane just win 2v1s by out-pushing.
Plus, your tower sieging, she's one of the few champions that matches up with Caitlyn because in the late game, you'll have enough mana, you can switch to rockets for the extra range, and early game, if you do switches or anything like that, your attack speed is just through the roof, so I do also kind of like that matchup. If it is a support Lulu, though, that's a really quick shoving lane, and they could just shove them right into the turret and keep them there for the entirety of the early game.
And what I'm also kind of surprised about is that VVV White still waited on their mid lane pick, even though they have like you would like 90% be sure it's going to be Lulu here. They're like, actually, we're going to make sure we think you're messing with us.
And taking Renekton in the top lane is not like you're showing any cards or anything from your hand, so pretty safe to go with the AD carry and top lane pick.
Yeah, works in a lot of situations here. So Cognitive now, 25 seconds to make their last few choices. They need, who knows? All we really know is they have an AD carry. The rest is kind of up in the air, which is fun about their champion select.
So it's funny you mentioned up in the air. Whenever you do have a Lulu, that's a pretty good setup for Yasuo, who's on the board and has become pretty popular. But looks like that's not going to be in the cards for Cognitive.
Nope, so Jungle Amumu is here. Gigantic amounts of AoE on this team. Admiral Ziploc does play that a fair bit in solo queue. One of the only guys I've seen still picking up this champion. But I mean, Spears on Amumu is going to never leave that jungle. He's going to get farmed.
He's just a very quick clear nowadays. You don't have to worry about your blue buff so much anymore. Because as soon as you get that Spirit Stone, you almost can gain mana and life off of jungle camps.
Yeah, Despair basically is a blue buff.
Yeah, because you do you get so much from the damage you deal, and you get healed health and mana from killing the main minion in that camp, then you come out pretty much even whenever you kill anything.
All right, so VVV White now confirming that it is almost definitely mid lane Lulu. The funny thing is Annie really could be mid.
All right, let's just step out here. Let's make a call for once. We're going to say this is mid lane Lulu, top lane Riven, and support Annie.
Or you're pulling an Edward, it's support Amumu.
Real bold here. Okay.
It's how you take down XDG. But
this is a challenger. Right. Let's relax a little bit.
You never know. All right. Okay, so mid lane Lulu, support Annie. The Orianna's going to be picked up here for Mike Relatios. Interestingly, not something he's played a lot of recently, but kind of choosing to let LeBlanc go through the wayside is one of his most played in solo queue. Lets that one go. So Orianna going to fit with the team. VVV White, a lot of engage potential here.
I really like the combo of the Vi plus Orianna. I mean, it's not something new. It's not something, super flashy, but it's something that works. Yeah. And it's a really easy combo to pull off. So anytime we have that duo, I'm a big fan. Plus, they have the Jinx for the end game. So just a very sort of solid team over here for VV White. Seems to be good at all stages of the game. They've got great team fight. The only thing is their split push kind of depends on if Chris gets to that point. Is he going to build for Tiamat and shoving, or is he going to not.
I feel like we've seen Tiamat more and more.
Pretty much all the time.
Yeah, it's weird because like so Renekton was popular throughout the end of Season 3, and like almost all the Western top laners built Tiamat Hydra, and then the Koreans just went Sunfire Cape anyway.
And then SOAS builds Blade of the Ruin King.
Yep.
So we could go the Euro route here. We might see Blade of the Ruin King.
On everybody.
Renekton. I actually like it.
Okay. I mean, it worked, right? You got the on hits from W, so.
Feel neat when you use it because it makes it even easier for him to catch 80 carries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got the on hit resets. You've got more procs. You've got more attack speed to build up Fury. So you can get more empowered abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, every empower ability is 1.5x damage from its base version, so attack speed is a damage stat more than you'd think for Renekton.
Yeah, that's how you play high-level Renekton in lane. You have to play around the Fury. Everybody, you'll see them playing extremely aggressive as soon as they build up that bar. But once it gets to full, they want to make use of it to either gain life back with Golden Meek or get some harass down. As soon as it goes away, then it's your turn, if you're playing against Renekton, to go aggressive.
So let's see what happens here. You got the battle of mid laners who can shield themselves. I feel like we don't see that kind of matchup very often, but Zemfira here with the Lulu against Microlatios, Orianna, and standard battle lines drawn is going to be Riven, Renekton top. So I like that because it's a very aggressive matchup as well. This guy's going to fight a lot. And this is with the patch with the Riven changes. So
right, so the shield's going to last a bit less. I think that might be the biggest change. So yes, the damage is really cool. They changed the scaling for Broken Wings and reduced the damage in general, but the reduction in time that your shield lasts really closes the window on players that are not precise with their movements. You have to judge that very well, or else you're going to lose out really big against the Renekton.
See what they can get with this one. See who can win that top lane. It's going to be a fun one to look for. So far, no one's really invading the jungle, just standing by the river, putting their trinkets down and saying, okay, no one's invading really. Admiral Ziploc. I just like that.
You like?
I just like that he's an admiral now. I don't know.
So I don't know if I like it because the Odd One earned his jungle title, the general.
Yeah.
That was given to him. Ziploc over here, he's just declaring himself an admiral. You can't really do that. I thought Zingy was up there as the
admiral
or
Zingy,
something like that. He just kind of decided that he's gonna give. He's like giving yourself your own nickname.
Hey man, but everyone chooses their own nickname. You chose Kobe.
Yeah, well, your gamer tag is not actually a nickname.
That's literally his gamer tag.
Yeah, I know, and it's not a nickname.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on here. The junglers starting out at their respective blue buffs. Pretty normal start for these guys overall. Cognitive does get the 2v2, and they are pushing in early on into that lane. So here we have Zion King also with the stun already ready here on Annie. Top laner trading blows as well. Chris level 2 first, and you see Richie Rich backing out because of it.
Yeah, so Annie's usually start W in pretty much all situations unless they're going into a lane versus a melee support.
Yeah.
In which case, you really want to start with your Q so you can get early harass down and bully them back. But because we see the stun swirling here, had to have started with that W because he had the stun ready before he was even level 2.
Or he went Molten Shield.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Very unlikely.
Best start ever.
Zemfira did start with the shield for what it's worth, so wasn't even looking to push that much. Zemfira, like with the Lulu, just saying, yeah, I'll have it for the instant harass damage, but otherwise not doing a ton with it. I do want to see how AP Lulu ends up scaling up because Whimsy's gonna haste more. Pix itself has an AP ratio, so the damage and auto attacks will go up. I haven't been keeping track of his builds. I want to see if like Nashor's Tooth becomes a build and he's sort of like Kale. Because he has a good attack range and his AP ratio on the passive as well as Nashor's Tooth, I could see it.
Yeah. And he pairs really nice with a jungler like a Mumu, who at this point is making a move mid. See if we can get a flash here. Holds onto the bandage and, you know, the speed boost gets her away. But I was going to say he pairs pretty nicely with a Mumu, the auto attack shredding magic resistance.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to look for. Getting the damage amplified. Nothing here in Zane King. I think it's Zion King. I've heard both. I'm going to get that one wrong over the time of this game.
I'll go with Zion.
Zion King?
Zion King.
All right.
Oh, so repeat visit. Even though, you know, he didn't burn a flash, he really wants to try. If you fail once, Freak, try again.
Not much mana. Pops the shield, has to flash.
He got it this time.
There we go.
Second time's the charm. Get Suggle was going to be seen out by the old jungler ward right there. And Vi would have the advantage if he can land his Vault Breaker.
I'm surprised Ziploc didn't look for him there. He knew he was down in the bottom side jungle.
So Get Snuggled can make two choices. Since he knows that the Amumu's going for his double golems, you can either attack him at the double golems, in which case you're behind enemy lines, or you can try and gank before he finishes with his double golems and get the advantage.
Hook lands nothing here. Rooted in place. Half HP on Caitlyn. Lantern comes by as well. Doesn't take it though. Zion King takes one rocket to the face, but just a flash burn.
It looked like he wasn't even planning on ganking. He was actually headed back towards his own jungle, but Batosai lands a good hook to set that one up.
Yeah.
And made him come back to the lane here. That might be like baiting Get Snuggled into wasting some time because the lane is pushed.
Well, you're seeing, yeah, nothing going really here for Vi. She's going to recall back Zamfira now. And you can see how far back Microlatios is playing. He knows with no flash and a low mana bar, there's a lot of danger from a repeated Mumu gank. And with those wards timed out, he doesn't know where they are.
Yeah, at some point, you just go back to buy just so you can get a ward anyway, even if you're not low. But because there's a giant wave of ranged minions there that Zamfira has been building up, he does not want to give up that money. So he just waits his turn patiently until they get to the turret.
Okay, he's going to be pretty safe to last hit. Missing some of them, turret overkilling them, but otherwise getting probably the rest of these minions, I would guess. As a random note...
Oh, good guess.
Yeah, all right, you got them all. Okay. They're high skill players. You got to kind of assume they'll get the minions here when you see them all full. As a random note, like, I don't think he did this, but if you go at least 5 points defense, you severely lower Lulu's harass on you because you're going to remove 1 damage per Pix Bolt.
Pix and the auto attack.
Yeah, so you'll remove 4 damage from Mastery when you normally remove 1.
Did you know?
Did you know?
That's a high quality did you know that and many players will be able to take use of when laning against the mid lane Lulu.
Or bottom lane. It's not like people don't play Lulu in general. I recommend she jungles. You can watch the spotlight on that one.
Jungle Lulu, I have not tried that one.
It's not very strong.
No.
In the spotlight, I like lucked into a double kill at like level 3 and snowballed. I didn't show that. So I just was really strong and no one knew why.
So in your spotlight videos, how many takes do you have to do before you get a good one where you're like owning with this champion that you're trying to sell?
Usually only 1 or 2.
Okay.
Usually it works out all right. I had a game where actually we were winning so bad the other team surrendered. And I was like, guys, that was footage. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I really shouldn't have surrendered that one. Olaf took me 3 tries, though. I was a really bad Olaf player when I started.
All right, so the call down bottom here. A Mumu going for a gank. They know that the try was not warded. Called out by the duo, but you can never be sure if it's warded up even further. What a perfect bait.
No flash, nothing here, but jumps over the wall. Here comes Captain Ziploc, and Batosai does have flash exhaust. There's the Mumu ulti, not enough health, not even going to burn a summoner. Who's going to get the kill?
They'll give it over to the AD, yeah.
He almost could have flashed that and would have forced a summoner out, I feel like. Probably not worth it even still. Richie Rich getting pushed out of the lane, minion kill deficit, and maybe a recall, because the thing is, he's stuck with like a big minion wave in front of his turret.
That's an interesting proposition that you just proposed there for Thresh. Because Thresh, he doesn't really need his flash. Wow, Get Snuggled
Get Snuggled does. Gets over the wall, gets chased down. Nothing here. 2 kills now. And Dragon's under fire. This is going to be COGs.
We have a Renekton roaming down, though. So if they rush really quickly, since Amumu's out of mana, they could actually stop it.
Wow, you're right. I called that one wrong.
Chris
Admiral
comes to save the day.
Yeah, Chris saves the day. Gives time for Richie Rich. There's going to wave clear this pretty quickly and catch up a bit in minions. 1 more. There you go.
Now, the reason I say Thresh doesn't need his flash as much as other supports is because he likes to play far back in the lane anyway to throw a lantern. So if he's just a little bit further behind Jinx, then she can sort of block the Amumu bandage when it comes in, and he just has to play far back, then throw her a lantern. But that's all very far in the past now.
Yep. Doesn't burn it anyway. Gets out. See where it goes from here. Gets snuggled. Level 6 right now. 8.5 minutes in.
Look at this. Look at this Richie Rich over here, though. He's saved up all his cash money and decided to buy a straight-up BF sword on that back. So it's going to do a lot to embolden him. It buffs his shield up quite a bit. AD ratio on that one still very strong, even though duration is low.
And blue buff going to be given away. So yeah, he's going to be happy with this one, just the higher power shield. Lulu gets the blue without getting stolen. VV did know about that attempted take, but didn't get anything for it.
That assault and battery, burning a hole and Get Snuggled's pocket right here. As soon as you get that on Vi, you want to use it. You want to get off your very high impact early gank, and he's looking to make use of it while he's got the red buff on.
He looks top lane for him. He couldn't find mid. But this is not too good for Richie Rich. Starting to take a little bit of damage. The jumps are down. There's a stun coming in. He gets going to land the Q.
Oh, man.
There's the ulti in as well. Richie Rich does not have flash. He's trying to run away. I don't think he can. And goes down. Chris picks up the kill. 2-1 now.
And he dies with the large sword out as he pops his ultimate just before the last hit gets taken. That's going to also award them with full control of that top lane turret. And if they push back the turret and got behind it, for the next minion wave. Wow, another hook. Every time we look down here, hooks.
Re-engage comes down though. Frostalicious taken low on health. Nothing here. Oh, he flashes the Super Mega Death Rocket. He's going to be okay for now. Ulti comes across. Matosai blocks that one. Thrash saving his AD carry right there. Close
Mid
fight.
lane is actually another battle here. Zamfira.
Oh my gosh, so much going on. Zamfira trying to run away. Shields himself. Takes the damage through the shield. The chase, great ult. He's going to lock back. Get snuggled and Zamfira safe.
Yeah, good timing on that ulti. Not letting Vi get another red buff auto attack down. And he even is able to defend that pink ward. It's only got 2 hits though. That sucker's not going to last very long. And even if it does, VVV already know its location, so they can work around it.
That's true. I feel like at some points you actually just want to leave the ward up and be like, we're not going mid.
Yeah,
and you jump over the wall.
Use your opponent's vision against them by baiting them into thinking what your plans are.
Yeah, I mean Vi can jump over Baron Pit as well as the little wall with that brush. Like she can get into the gank paths.
Yes, she can.
I want to see if we see that. That'd be cool. We'll see. Last hitting on a turret. These guys holding up despite the weird kills and deaths. Minions are fairly equal here. It's just Caitlyn has got so much cash money. Basically, Zerkree's up on her opponent.
Now, starting out with the speaking of boots here, the Sork shoes for Zamfira. The early rush Sork boots is the first step in your AP Lulu mid build.
I didn't know that.
If you're watching.
Well, here we go. Matosai getting dropped down half HP. Amumu comes across after the flash, but that is not good for Thrash. Goes down anyway. 3rd kill in a row to the bottom lane. This one is going to go to Annie.
They're going to keep on pushing here too. It's Vi waiting in the wings, but even so, they can get some good turret damage because Caitlyn's got that great auto attack range. So does Annie.
Well, Lulu's coming down. They're going to force one. Flash stun into Frostalicious trying to go down. Vile trying to save his life. Lulu's going to land the damage. Nothing here picks up another one. 3-0-1. Admiral Ziploc holding Turret Dagger. One more shot. Going to walk away. Goes to Zamfira. He's going to be safe. Double kill now. 4-0-1 for nothing here.
The Lulu Sork boots also roaming, so making use of the speed and the magic penetration there. This game is really rolling away for Cognitive. It looks like a bit of an answer roam, and the last 2 hits of the pink ward do actually pay off, and they alert Richie Rich. So there's no answer from Orianna for the early Lulu roam.
Well, that is a unfortunate situation now for VVV White. They don't catch much of anything. Turret goes down, and it's interesting because we were talking about the Lulu builds because I want to keep pondering this. I'm surprised you're going for Magic Pen build because half of her AP ratios are not offensive tools. She only has 2 offensive ratios, or I guess 3, Q, passive, and half of E, and 3 defensive ratios that literally can't benefit from Magic Pen. And says, well, no, I'm still going to go for the Magic Pen Bursty build.
Well, it does help with Amumu too. Since Amumu's going to shred them first, he can get down to true damage.
True.
If he goes straight flat penetration, because there's no early magic resist except on his lane opponent. So whenever he does roam, you know, he can get true damage on an 80 carry.
Oh, and I actually remember I have seen this build before. I believe he goes for an early Leandri's Torment. Because there's only so much AP offensive scaling anyway that because Glitterlance applies a slow, it'll double the damage because they're CC'd. And he gets a lot out of that one. We'll see if that actually ends up being the build, but I have seen this at least once before. See if you're pushing out the mid lane, removes the minions pretty easily here. And we're just sort of seeing, like, Microlacio's not able to do much. He's actually being completely held back by this Lulu.
It looks like they're already making a move on the next dragon. Good preparation by Cognitive.
Yeah, down to half right there. We'll see no one really even answering. They know this is happening. They saw him go by some wards. Just doesn't even matter. Blue team picks up the dragon. Amumu last hits it without smite. That's how good he is.
It's not actually like a huge win for them, though, if Chris is able to take out that top turret. It looks like he's just leaving minion waves to die on it, though. He's not concerned about taking it early to answer. He still is in the phase where he can bully Riven. He's got to be careful about this, though, because there's more than Riven coming his way.
The team is coming, though, on both sides. We'll see what happens. Chris down to half, dodges the Q. He's going to be safe, doesn't get much out of it. Hasted away, blue buff, likely to go to Zemfira here.
And he was confident. We didn't get a shot of the turret health, but it was so low, the minions took it out anyway. And the global gold does end up evening out for that dragon. So not anything big gained for Cognitive by that play.
You know what I'm surprised by, though? So there's two things that kind of went to play here. So Chris denied, of course, a whole bunch of minion waves by letting the minions take it down. They all died to the turret. It removes some gold from Richie Rich. But at the same time, the local gold for a turret kill, I believe it's 150 for the outer turret, went to no one because Chris wasn't there.
I really need to get a lock on that range so I can get used to it. But he was really far away, so there's no way he got it this time because he was all the way down at blue buff.
I think it's like roughly Caitlyn Q range. That would be like my rough yardstick from what I've seen from the game so far. Microlatios still under the turret. We just haven't seen this Orianna be effective. It was their last pick. It was their counter pick to the lane. Snuggle gets warded out. Not going to get to do anything here in the top side jungle. Ziploc looking around as well. Chris rotating down. There's people around.
So, you know when there's like 500 pings going off that there could be a team fight pretty soon because everybody's congregating towards that mid lane here, and all the ultimates are available for COG. They've got ridiculous AoE initiate. I mean, we didn't really talk about the anti-flash into a Mumu AoE ultis, but that is a ridiculous amount of AoE here because Riven as well, once you pop the sword, she can do a lot herself.
Definitely can. We'll see what happens with these guys right now. It's Riven back to the top lane to hold up some farm. They know about a 4v5 right here. If it gets snuggled, not going to go into this one, though.
So you're right. They're trying to take advantage of that opportunity without Riven being mid. But good job by COG backing off as soon as Vi comes in.
So if you're going to tank the turret, 2 shots using the shield, nothing here. A couple more attacks as well. Of course, Bloodthirster done for both these ADs, but the Zerkru's advantage for nothing here gives him just that extra attack speed for turret pressure.
Yeah, the extra 4 kills there really doing a lot for him. He's probably got a good amount of cash in his pockets as well as another turret goes down.
Very good start to this game. Cognitive making sieges happen, and what I like is not only do they have siege with kind of like Lulu Caitlyn, I feel like are the 2 big players in the sieges, but their engage is so crazy with a Mumu plus Leona, or a Mumu Lulu Annie.
Yeah.
Like, they can start fights, they can siege, they can peel back. There's a lot that this comp does for these guys.
I do like the cleanup as well. Richie Rich, if he can come down here and pop his execute on top of all of the AoE stuns, like they don't even have a chance to move.
Wow, a Mumu ult first to go in. A Microlations. Can Orianna fall down? 150 health, flashes away, Ignite Tick and picks it up. Zamfira getting one so far. Now Get Snuggled, low on mana, does have flash, getting chased. Flashes the wall, chased by Ziploc, gets the stun. Zane King, Gunnison as well. One more hit, double kill. Zamfira picking up money.
Yeah, he's showing why it's probably his favorite AP mid here. Doing really well so far. But it is a Mumu with the 100% kill participation. You know, I guess he's earned his Admiral tag that he's chosen for himself.
Yeah, he's got a really admirable performance so far, I gotta say. And one thing I gotta sort of question is...
I'll give you a little snort. You get a little snort for that one.
I get a snort for that one. I'll appreciate that. We keep seeing Cassian and bans on red side, and we keep seeing mid laners play things that work really well anyway. Like, I'm going to keep questioning it because I don't really believe 100% bans.
Yeah.
And it's like, Zamfira's crushing on Lulu right now.
Yeah. I think like last week we were talking about, you know, how long does Cassian have to be permabanned before people let it slip one time? You know, they figure the other mid laners just hasn't played him in so long. I think it's upwards of 4 months.
Okay.
Then it might roll around. But I do want to point out, as we were talking about that, Riven walked through that tri-bush up where the pink ward is and just let it be. Don't know if he was scared of Renekton coming to stop him or if he was just not paying attention to where he was walking. A lot of times, you know, just look at the map where you're going and not actually where your champion is.
Sure.
Might have missed it.
You see that sometimes. See where it goes. Ziploc scaling up still, the Admiral. He's got 93 minions, 0, 0, and 7, so Goldenye's happy with him. And he's going to get a Randuin's pretty soon. Gigantic tanky Mumu, the guy who's initiating fights, the only real frontliner here. And what I like about COG's comp as well is, like, even though they've got a traditionally low damage mid laner in Lulu, they've put their top laner on Riven, who has really good damage late game, and is completely holding up, I would say, despite an early, like a bad early game, is holding up now to Chris Renekton. will continue to outscale and is a big damage threat in fights.
And they've chosen the Caitlyn, who is great when you have all of these AoE ultimates, because Amumu and Annie can lock down this VVV team for so long that Caitlyn gets to do what she wants. She loves just sitting in the back and auto-attacking with her Phantom Dancer builds. And if you can lock them down with any stun into a Mumu ult, into a Lulu ultimate, that's plenty of time